let me get into some of the things that I want to talk about, because I'm not going to spend too much time here because I got stuff on my mind. I got a lot of things that I need to take care of, but I definitely wanted to take an opportunity to drop a couple of episodes to you before Christmas arrived, because I got a few things on my mind that I wanted to get off my chest. It isn't this. See the merch that I made, the Stephen A. Smith show right here. You like that? You like that? I like it. I like it. I love the hoodie. It fits me really well, too. It's kind of warm, too, so make sure you look for that in stores near you in the future. For the moment, however, let me tell you what's going on. I watched Joel Embiid last night for the Philadelphia 76ers. I watched him go against a team with the second best record in basketball. That is the Minnesota Timberwolves, led by Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert is no slouch either. And I was saying to myself, this is what I love about Joel Embiid. This is before the game, y'all. This is before the game. I was saying this is what I love about Joel Embiid. They got Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. As a result, their defense is considered very, very formidable. That's what we look at when we see the Minnesota Timberwolves. And they're formidable because of their big boys. So what's the big boy for the Philadelphia 76ers, the reigning league MVP, going to do when he goes up against those dudes? I said to myself, this brother is going to wreak havoc. He is going to annihilate them, because that's what Joel Embiid does. That's the difference between stars and superstars. When you know what the moment calls for, when you know that because you're the marquee, it's calling for that moment from you, and you still say, give it to me. Watch me take you there. Let me answer the call. That is what a superstar is. You see what Steph Curry did the other night to the Boston Celtics, particularly in the fourth quarter? Did you see what he did? That's superstardom. You remember how many game-winning shots Kobe hit? That's stardom. What about Michael Jordan? That's stardom. What about LeBron James? Even with the in-season tournament, that really didn't mean much to him in the grand scheme of things. $500,000 to him is like a damn penny. To everybody else, it might mean a lot, but not to him. But this brother goes out there and shows up and shows out in the in-season tournament. I ain't talking about what the hell they've done since the in-season tournament. Like getting bounced by Chicago last night, losing to San Antonio the other day. And I'm talking about that. That wasn't in-season tournament action. But wanting to be the first at anything requires a special something when you prioritize that, particularly when you're a four-time champion and a four-time league MVP, and you've been to 10 NBA finals, and you're considered one of the top 3 players in the history of basketball. But he answers the call. That's superstardom. When I look at a guy like Joel Embiid and what was expected of him last night, to go out there against Minnesota and drop 51. Spin moves, baseline, reverse dunks, driving into the lane, layups, fast break layups, pull-up jump shots, three-point shots, free throw. Don't matter what you need. What you need, I got you. That's Joel Embiid. That is Joel Embiid. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something right now. Just so I'm clear, and we all understand one another, I got to tell you, Philadelphia 76ers got a chance. They got a chance. Now, this is not to cast any aspersions on James Harden, because James Harden looks pretty damn good with the Los Angeles Clippers. First 5 games, he didn't look good. He was only shooting 47% from the field, but only averaging 4.2 assists, only shooting 37% from three-point range, which isn't bad. But since November 15th, that same James Harden that everybody in Philly was happy to see gone, that same James Harden has led the Clippers to a 14-3 record. And by the way, they won 9 straight. Oh, by the way, he's averaging 34 minutes, 17.8 points, same 47% shooting from the field, 44% shooting from three-point range, has doubled up on assists at 8.8. The teammates of his are gravitating to him. They love him. They're rooting for him. They're playing with him. He looks like he's having a blast. Living in L.A. is nothing to sneeze over. Might be raining and all of that stuff, cats and dogs today, but let me tell you something right now. Southern California sunshine, very little on our planet beats that. That's what James Harden has done for the Clippers, which is a beautiful thing, which is why I said the other day, the Clippers may very well end up being the team to beat in the Western Conference, or at the very least, the #1 threat to the reigning defending champion Denver Nuggets. But I digress. Having said all of those great things about James Harden, which is well-deserved, that doesn't mean that the Philadelphia 76ers have not been better off without him. 19-7 on the season. They're 2 games back of the Boston Celtics in the Eastern Conference. Boston Celtics 21-6. Philly's 19-8. You look at them, Milwaukee's in the middle of that at 20-7 in second place. Can we definitively say that Milwaukee and Boston are the team to beat? I can't. The Boston Celtics are attempting 42.9 three-point shots per game. That's #1 in the NBA. The other day, they launched 63-point shots. I mean, what the hell is going on? Gary Washburn, who covers the team, was absolutely right in interrogating Coach Mazzulla, because you're wondering, damn, are you going to throw anything into the interior? Is Al Horford or the 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis, is somebody capable of making a layup for you? They all are. Of course, I'm being facetious. Porzingis could play, averaging 19 a game. Tatum's a superstar. Jaylen Brown's a star. We know that they're the favorites. As far as I'm concerned, they should be the favorites. But guess what? The Boston Celtics ain't winning no championship if all you're doing is launching three-point shots all over the damn place, whether they're contested or not. You've got to throw something into the interior. Somebody got to shoot a layup. Somebody got to provide something in the low post. Something. Now, I know it can't be Al Horford, who's 37 years of age, but somebody's got to do something. You got to figure that out. You got to attack the basket, and every single thing you create can't be contested. That's just not going to work for the Boston Celtics, especially if you're going up against the Philadelphia 76ers with this dude, Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid, just to throw it out there, ladies and gentlemen, the man leads the NBA averaging 35.1 points per game. This is off his league MVP season. He's averaging 35 a game. He's 5th in the NBA in rebounding at 11.8. He's first, leads the NBA in second chance points per games at 5.1. Let's look at the Sixers rankings right now. Points per game, 4th in the NBA at 122.3. Leads the NBA in steals with 9. I'm not talking about Embiid. I'm talking about the Sixers team. They lead the league in steals. Their free throw percentage shooting, they're second in the NBA. Their offensive rating, they're second in the NBA behind the Pacers. Their defensive rating, they're second in the NBA behind the Timberwolves. Their fast break points per game, they're 4th in the NBA. And deflection points leads the NBA with 19. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Nurse is doing a hell of a job. He's a champion with the Toronto Raptors. I'm not happy that my man Doc Rivers is not coaching any longer, because I love him and I know he's a hell of a coach, even though I know he'll be a hell of a broadcaster as well. Just like I miss him coaching, I miss my man Mark Jackson doing what Doc Rivers is doing now, which is calling games. But having said all of that, we can't negate the job that Nick Nurse is doing. He's elevated the level of pace of play for the Philadelphia 76ers, is creating more opportunities. Tyrese Maxey is a star in this league. Tobias Harris and the rest of these boys, they ain't scrubs. They can play. I mean, think about this right here. Just look at them. You got DeAnthony Melton. You got Tobias Harris. Nicholas Batum, outside of being barricaded from the city of Charlotte because Michael Jordan will probably have somebody arrest him, considering how he robbed Michael Jordan when he was in Charlotte. But in Philadelphia, he's doing a decent enough job. But just look at some of the things that the Sixers have in place here. You've got Kelly Oubre Jr., back from his car accident, Patrick Beverley, Paul Reed. They've settled into consistent reserve roles. You got Marcus Morris and Robert Covington. They're capable of doing some things for you in that top 10 rotation. Mo Bamba, KJ Martin, and others, Korkmaz, they're still on the team. And then I'm looking at the Sixers right here. Did you know they have 3 first-round picks and 6 second-round picks that they can offer in trades, along with $80 million in expiring contracts? When you think about Chicago's Zach LaVine, when you think about Toronto's Pascal Siakam or OG Anunoby, if you could get any one of those 3 on the Philadelphia 76ers, the 76ers could win the title. They could win the title with Embiid playing like this. So I'm just saying, let's put it all in perspective. This NBA season is unfolding before our very eyes. You, Boston, we can never dismiss them. But I can't flow with you when all you're doing is jacking up threes. And Drew Holiday, a future Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned, a champion, an elite defender for the most part throughout his career, even though he didn't look like that against Jimmy Butler last year in playoffs. I'm just wondering, you going to show a pulse offensively, only averaging 12 points a game? You better than that. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, you've been in about 5 conference finals. You're in the NBA finals. And even though Jason Tatum, you're young, 25, and Jaylen Brown is 27, you've been around long enough, experienced enough. And we all know that if Jaylen Brown got a $300 million contract, that means Jason Tatum is getting $350. That means they're going to be taking up over $600 million. Can I get a chip, please? Can I get a chip? Can I get a chip? Because I believe in these brothers. But I need rings. This ain't Beyonce. If you like it, if you should put a ring on it. If you like it, you should put a ring on it. Oh, no. This is basketball. We need a chip. We need a ring. You that great? Something's got to give. They got to give when it comes to that three-point shooting, and you got to position yourself better to win a championship. Oh, by the way, if you're Joel Embiid, you ain't even been to a conference finals. You are that dude. Boy, this brother's spectacular. He is something special. You got to get it done. You got to get to the conference finals. That means you're going to, in all likelihood, have to knock off Milwaukee or Boston in order to do it. What's up? What's up? I mean, it is necessary. Make no mistake about it. You got to be able to pull that off, Joel Embiid. So these are the interesting storylines that I'm asking everybody to pay attention to. As the slew of Christmas Day games are on the way, by the way, I'll be on ESPN all day that day. We got about 4 NBA countdowns. We got about 5 games airing throughout the day. And we will be on TV, on ESPN and ABC throughout the day into the night, even as 3 NFL games are going on. You got about 5 to 6 NBA games going on. And I'll be all over it on NBA Countdown. It's going to be a busy week, a busy Christmas Day. But we here for it. We here for it. Make no mistake about it. This is what we're talking about right here. And I'm looking at this February 8th trading deadline coming up and what respective teams may potentially want to return. The Sixers have the ability to create more than $55 million in salary cap space this offseason. Okay? So you take that into consideration with the other numbers that I brought up for you. And it gets very, very interesting because they got $80 million in expiring contracts. You all know. People want that. Look out for the 76ers. I told you the other day, look out for the Clippers. What if the Clippers and the Sixers met in the finals and James Harden had to go against Mr. New Contract Extension, Daryl Morey, the president of basketball operations in Philadelphia, his former boss in Houston? Lord have mercy. Somehow I suspect that any doldrums or any issues or any struggles that existed in the past when James Harden would not really show up in some postseason games, I don't think that would be the case against Daryl Morey. I don't think that'll be the case then.